to give an introduction, I need to give you a little bit of background as to who and why I'm even talking about this tonight. And to do that, we need to go back to London, 1992, when my wife and I were sent there to engage with the radical Muslims in London. London has 1 million Muslims. In a city of 10 million, 1/10 of the population are Muslims. And they are some of the best Muslims you can get. Why? Because they come from 3 countries, India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh. That's my background. I was born in India. My father was born in India. My grandfather's grave is in India. My family have been in India since 1913, over 100 years. My sister still lives there. It is where I was born. I grew up, and I grew up in a school where most of the Muslims that came to that school, goodness sakes, they were my roommates, they were my classmates, and almost any big discussion we had was about the Trinity, the divinity of Jesus, the authority of Scriptures. I had it in the neck, and I grew up with this, and that's what prepared me for what I'm doing today, having grown up with those great Muslims. When I left India in 1971, I left high school there, I wanted nothing to do with Islam. I was fed up with all this huge amount of discussion and really aggravation from these Muslims. But what was fascinating is, it was those Muslims that really prepared me for what I'm doing. It is those Muslims that really were the ones. And I could not get over the fact that they absolutely believed that Muhammad was the prophet, that the book Quran was his revelation, that it was the eternal revelation, completely preserved, never being created, and that Allah was God. Fascinating that they knew those 3 things, and no one really could question those 3 things. So when I came to America and did my undergraduate and was going through my graduate course, finishing off my divinity, my wife and I went to a seminar, just a 1-day seminar in Philadelphia on Islam. And we were told 3 things. We were told that there were 800 million Muslims. This was 1981, when there were only 800 million Muslims. Now it's almost 2 billion. But 800 million Muslims. Now, how do you compute a number like that? Goes in this year, goes out this year. You can't really compute it. It's just too big. And then we were told that there were only 1,500 missionaries working amongst us 800 million, and that this 1,500 missionaries only made up 2% of all the missionaries. Those 2 numbers slapped me in the face. And I turned to my wife and said, what in the world are we doing wrong? Why are we sending only 2% of all our missionaries to the fastest growing religion on earth, the religion that is attacking us at our foundation? It's the religion that's attacking our Lord Jesus Christ and our scriptures like no other. And that's why I decided to get back into Islam in 1981. Because of 2 numbers, 1,500 and 2%. That was my Pauline call, folks. And ever since, that's the last 44 years now, I have been working in Islam. 44 years of engaging with Muslims. The most beautiful people on earth, my favorite people, because they absolutely believe in everything that they say. Unlike so many Christians. And they're willing to die for what they believe. Unfortunately, they're willing to take you with them. Nonetheless, it's not that they're doing it because they love it, it's because of that book, the Quran. This book right here. This is the one that does all the damage. But tonight, I'm not going to talk about this book. I did that 1.5 years ago. We're not going to talk so much about this book. I'm going to talk about the man behind this book. The man that received this book. The man that supposedly from 610 to 632, that 22-year period, that received these 2 halves. If you just take the Quran in half, look, this is really damaged. Can you tell the Muslims have stolen from me 5 times and the police have always gotten it back, and it is about ready to fall to pieces. But this is the book I've been using for year upon year. There on the ladder at Speaker's Corner every Sunday for 25 years, I use this book. And when you look at this book, you can't even tell the printing on the outside, but it goes this direction. So it goes Arabic, so it goes from the right to left. So that would be Medina, this would be Mecca. Medina means that's the part when Muhammad was living in Medina afterwards, and this is when he lived in Mecca, from 610 to 622. This is what he received first. So this is the first part of the Quran, though it's the second half that's written. Isn't that odd? Turn it upside down, you get the right sequence. Nonetheless, let's go back to that sequence. And this is the part that really there's not too much in this part that we would have problems with. Oh, there's lots of stories here that make no sense. But it's this half that has caused all the problems. This is where the violence is. This is where the misogyny is against women. Chapter 4, chapter 2. This is the problem that we're all confronting. And I